Yeah, we back. You Can't Play Boxing Podcast, episode 40. So, man, number one, I'm happy for everybody tuning in. It was kind of hard. It wasn't hard, but it was dicey whether or not I was going to record this podcast this week. You know, your boy been under the weather a little bit. And I think it's a cold. However, you know, in these days and times, you don't know if you got coronavirus or what. So I did take a test yesterday. And hopefully, the test comes back tomorrow or whatever. Everything is cool. But I just want to tell everybody out there, before I even dive into the podcast this week, stay safe out there, y'all. It's a lot going on, this coronavirus. The numbers are spiking. And, while we're not seeing the deaths to it, we're not seeing people die, we don't really know if we get it. We don't even know the long-lasting effects of the coronavirus. And we don't know it does different things to different people. You know what I'm saying? I got people I know who passed away from it. I got people I know who have had underlying issues, but the coronavirus made the underlying issues that wasn't really present, that wasn't to the forefront. The coronavirus is really exacerbated, people with asthma or anything, and there's a lot of people got, little underlying issues. So my PSA to everybody out there, make sure that you take care of yourself, be safe, be masked up, wash your hands. And even when you do that, you still might not be able to dodge it. But, stay healthy, get your vitamin D, get your vitamin C, get all of that, elderberry, all of that, So that's my PSA. But, getting that out the way, let's get the house cleaning out the way. You Can't Play Boxing Podcast, episode 40. You can check us out on Instagram, which is You Can't Play Boxing. That's UCANTPLAYBOXING. Check us out on Twitter, and Twitter got this new little feature. Fleets is kind of like their version of the story. So, you got Twitter with stories, you got Facebook with stories, you got Instagram with stories, you got snaps with snaps, so everybody got their own thing. But check us out on our Twitter page, You Can't Play Boxing. Check us out on YouTube at You Can't Play Boxing. Check us out on the website, can'tplayboxing.com. And man, it's kind of, keeping up with all of this is, it takes a lot, but I appreciate everybody who is listening. I appreciate everybody who take the time out their day to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? The listenership is growing. So we had a lot of people that have been listening over the past couple months, and it's been growing. So I just appreciate everybody who's listening. And excuse me, again, I am getting over what I think is a cold. So if you hear me coughing on this episode, just bear with me. The more I talk, sometimes the more I cough. So, you know what I'm saying? I do got some little something in my cup to kind of keep that at bay. But we gonna slide through this thing a little bit. So, besides the coronavirus, we also got some other things going on, man, in the hip-hop world, man. It's over the last month or two, just been seeing a lot of high-profile shootings, So in the last week, we saw Dallas rapper, I don't know his music too much, but I got homies and shit that do know his music because he down there from the Dallas, and I have a lot of people that I know that live in Dallas. But the homie Mo3 passed away. Well, not passed away. He got excuse me. He got gunned down on the interstate. You know what I'm saying? Which was wild. So moment of silence. Rest in peace to Mo3. Then you got the homie Lil Boosie was coming down to Dallas to pay his respects to Mo 3. And he got shot in the leg on that weekend, or I think Saturday. And then taking it down from Dallas to Houston, you got my boy Benny the Butcher, who I just talked about like last month in one of the episodes because his album, Burden of Proof. And I've been listening to a lot of Benny the Butcher in the last month or so, like his old stuff and his current stuff. And, you know, Benny was at the Walmart in Houston. Yeah, it was at the Walmart in Houston, you know what I'm saying? And they shot him in the leg. They tried to rob him, and they shot him in the leg, you know? So it's a lot going on, y'all, like for real. So my theory is, you know, the world is kind of like going through a transition right now. And the wolves and the people who are hungry, they feel like it ain't no laws right now, you know what I'm saying? So stay safe, stay dangerous, you know, for real, because people animalistic side is really coming out. And you know, it ain't no telling. It ain't no telling what could happen out there. People are hungry, man. A lot of people lost their job. And the money is flowing a little bit, but it's not flowing like it was flowing earlier this year. So just watch out, you know. Watch out. Hopefully some of this violence kind of slows down, because some of it, I'm assuming a lot of it is unnecessary, for real, you know. So another thing too, we got 2 more days from now, or not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, either tomorrow or Thursday. We got a big versus battle, one that I couldn't see happening. You know, we got Gucci Mane versus Jeezy. And like, you know, if you know the history between Gucci Mane and Jeezy, 2005, they were on the same song. So Icy, it was Gucci's song. Jeezy did a guest appearance. Then they fell out. This when Jeezy was just hopping in the game. Gucci was just hopping in the game. You know, Jeezy came out with the song Stay Strapped back then. And a week later, there was an attempt on Gucci's life. Gucci went to a female's home and niggas came in the house and tried to kill him. Fortunately or unfortunately, one of the dudes who tried to kill him ended up dying. You know, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because, you know, this is street talk and it's pretty well known, but it's street talk. Allegedly, he was tied in to Jeezy. So from there on, you know what I'm saying, Gucci never got charged with that murder. It was self-defense. But that lets you know the shit was real. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly, a life could have been taken, and it could have been Gucci's life at that time. But it didn't happen. Gucci went on to become a mixtape king and become a bigger star. He had a bunch of different things in and out of jail. Jeezy, of course, released classics like Trap or Die, Thug Motivation, The Recession, numerous shit. They tried to squash it before they got on the phone on Drama Show like in 2009, 2010. And it was a dry ass conversation. They tried to squash it, but you could tell they really weren't fucking with each other. And this has been 15 years in the making. I'm looking forward to it. Me personally, I've seen both of them in concert. I seen Gucci in concert like when it was 10 years ago, you know, when he first got out of jail, like in 2009 or 2010. And I just saw Jeezy in concert recently. Like, there was like last year, like in Atlanta. Yeah, he did before his latest album came out. I saw the concert, and just being personal, being real. I'm a bigger Jeezy fan than I am a Gucci fan. Although I do respect Gucci because a lot of niggas could have been left for dead, literally, and a lesser man wouldn't have been heard from. You know what I'm saying? But Gucci, his work ethic was crazy. He put on a lot of people. I mean, from Migos to Thug to shit, Pee Wee the Long Way, from Pee Wee Longway. I'm tripping. A lot of people, man. A lot of people came through the Gucci camp. Waka Flocka, OJ the Juice Man. You know what I'm saying? So Gucci, despite all his faults, he has put on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And he's did his thing. However, like I was telling somebody today, man, this versus is not who's the best talent scout and who's the best, A&R, or who's the best at putting people on. It's about who got the best music. And I know I'm a little biased, but to me, it's hands down Jeezy, bro. Like, Jeezy, he got hella hits and club songs. Like, he got hella shit. You know what I'm saying? He got motherfucking, you look at Trap or Die, Thug Motivation, shit. You even think about the guest appearances, Put On with Kanye, The Recession, the They Know remix, you know what I'm saying? Jeezy got hella shit, and I forgot he had all that shit for real until I went to his concert last year. So, hopefully it stays respectful. To me, it's kind of hard seeing them staying respectful the entire time. It's kind of like if you put 50 Cent in the verses with Ja Rule, will it truly ever be all the way respectful? I don't know, bro. That's kind of hard to say. But, I think it can be good. I think it can go left, too. I think it could definitely go left. Because regardless of this new reform Gucci, I was looking at Gucci on Big Facts podcast like a few months earlier this year. Shout out to DJ Scream and to Big Bank. You know what I'm saying? I listen to their shit. Gucci, he still gets aggravated. He still gets irritated. Even though he's reformed himself, under all of that, he's still the same Gucci. You feel me? So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to it. Versus, check it out. I think it's on Apple Music. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's on Instagram, of course. So check it out this week. Looking forward to that. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to slide into some NBA talk real quick. The NBA, bro, like, lot of movement finna happen, and you like, what the fuck you talking about in the NBA, bro? I listen to you for boxing. Hold on. We do talk about boxing, but, the podcast is a boxing and bullshit podcast, so we're going to talk about this NBA. The NBA got some things going on. Tomorrow, we got the NBA draft. I'm out here in the Bay Area, and, the Warriors, they got the number 2 pick. Are they going to keep the pick? Are they going to trade the pick? We got a bunch of trades that's happening right now. We got CP3 going to Phoenix to settle up with Devin Booker. I think that's going to help Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. You know what I'm saying? I think CP3, whatever you want to say about him, he's the ultimate competitor. And he gonna go out there until he can't go out there no more. He hates to lose, and he knows how to run an offense. You feel me? So I think he's gonna run the offense to have them young boys going hard. So that's gonna be interesting. Speaking about CP3, his former teammate James Harden. He trying to get out of Houston. He turned down a $50 million contract per year. He could have been the highest paid player ever. However, like we've been seeing, in the last few years, these NBA players, bro, they're not really tripping on the money too much. Even though he in Texas with no state tax, no state income tax, he turned that money down. And he informed the Rockets that he want to go to Brooklyn. He want to team up with Kevin Durant and team up with Trump stripping, and Kyrie Irving. And you know, it's rumors that Houston, they'll keep him there until they get a good offer from a team, and they are in no rush of trading him. We'll see how that goes. It could be bluffing. Speaking of bluffing, they saying the same thing about Russell Westbrook. They saying that even though Russell Westbrook says he wants to be traded, Houston says until they get a good offer, they not in a rush. They can just be two unhappy motherfuckers on the team. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes, man. It's gonna be a lot of exciting stuff. You got the draft, you got trades, you got free agency, and all this gonna be happening like within the next week within the NBA. So if you're an NBA fan, you know what I'm saying, keep your eye to your screens, because you never know what's gonna happen, bruh. You never know what's gonna happen. I'm a Knicks fan, but I'm like, I have no expectations at all. I don't even have hope. Anymore. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got a new coach, we got new GM and everything, but I don't really have no hope for the team, for real. Shit, you know, I just hope we just show some improvement, bruh. But I don't believe no dreams they selling. I don't believe nothing. You got to show me, bruh. I lived in St. Louis for a little minute, you know what I'm saying? Show me state. You got to show me. So, yeah, bruh. So what we going to do real quick, we going to take a quick commercial break. But we going to come back. We're going to talk about the boxing shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about the Terence Crawford. We're going to talk about Terence Crawford. We're going to talk about the Kell Brook Terence Crawford fight. Talk about Canelo upcoming fight. Talk about top 10 pound for pound. And talk about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder going through arbitration. Will we see them next? So y'all hold tight. Be cool. We'll be back in like 1 minute. What's up? It's that time of the show where we kind of give a shout out to our sponsors. The sponsor today is Anchor. Anchor is everything you need to create your own podcast. You can use Anchor to distribute your show. They'll kind of get it out for you. And all you have to do is do it from your cell phone or your microphone, however you want to do it. But if you want to get your voice out there, if you want to talk to the people, there's no better place to do it than Anchor. So download the app, Anchor, or go to their website, anchor.com. It'll distribute your podcast on all platforms. So again, Anchor. Yeah, we back. You Can't Play Boxing Podcast. We back with the second segment. You know what I'm saying? We're going to mob out to some of this Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to E40. I think it was his birthday yesterday. And I feel like, hey, this is episode 40, E40 birthday with the perfect way, you know what I'm saying, to kind of spit some game too. Sprinkle me, you feel me? So, excuse me, y'all. And again, I do apologize for this episode. You know, I'm a little congested still. You probably hear my voice. I probably sound like Gucci Mane, you know what I'm saying? Gucci Mane, he sound like he got like marbles in his mouth and he rapping underwater. But shout out to Gucci Mane. You got a unique voice, you know what I'm saying? He a true hustler, so no shots, you know what I'm saying? I respect him. But he do be sounding like he congested or some shit. So to get into the boxing talk, man, last Saturday we had a real anticipated fight. We got Terence Crawford. He was fighting Kell Brook. And if you heard my prediction, bruh, you know I expected this fight to be a test for Terence Crawford. I expected this fight to be a test for Terence Crawford. I expected Kell Brook to be a dog, as he's shown in the past. I expected him to be a true boxer, as he's shown in the past. But I did say Terence Crawford has less wear and tear, so I expected Terence Crawford to win. But in the midst of being honest, you know, I did give a prediction that I thought Terence Crawford would win by decision, 115-113. And I was hella wrong, you know what I'm saying? But that's one thing about boxing, bro. You can sit there and predict some shit. And unless you them two fighters in that ring, you never know what that fighter has got going on in his mind, how that fighter truly feels. And it's easy for us to talk outside the ring because we ain't in there getting punched. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I give the ultimate respect to everybody who get in that ring. I've never got in the ring as a professional. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I played around before, but not professional, just playing around. You feel me? I've just been, you know, doing my own little thing before, you know, in the ring. But I respect boxers to the fullest, you feel me? Because it's a hard sport. So I never sit here and demean another boxer. It's going to be you got to do some crazy shit for me to demean you feel me? Because, yeah, you got to do some crazy shit. But anyway, let's get to the fight, man. You know, Kell Brook, first couple rounds, you know, he was using his jab and everything. And he was using his jab. And he was making it hard for Terence Crawford, you feel me? He was making it hard for him to where Terence Crawford couldn't get his spacing that he needed, you know what I'm saying? And Kell Brook, on my scorecard, he won those first 2 rounds. But you know, when I watch the fights, and if you're a true boxing fan, you watch hundreds of fights or whatever, you can see the little nuances that happens over the course of a fight. So in that 3rd round, even though I saw the fight, that round was competitive, you could have gave it to Brook, you could have gave it to Terence Crawford. Me personally, I gave it to Terence Crawford the 3rd round because I saw that he was getting closer and he was finding his range and his timing was lining up. He wasn't hitting on all cylinders, but he was closing that space and he was making it to where he feels more comfortable in that zone. And Kell Brook started feeling a little bit uncomfortable. He still was countering, don't get me wrong. And it was a good competitive 3rd round. But I saw in that 3rd round that Terence Crawford is he's finding that range. So I gave the 3rd round to Terence Crawford, and in the 4th round, bruh, like, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Again, I never demean a boxer, and don't get me wrong, Terence Crawford is a dog. And he probably was gonna still win. I mean, he was gonna win because he deserved to win. But that shot that he hit Kell Brook with, that's a shot that Kell Brook in the Spence fight, he got hit with something like that half a dozen times, bro. In the Triple G fight, he got hit with something like that at least a half dozen times. So I'm saying this to say this. That shot that Crawford hit him with, it was a shot. But if you at the high level of fighting, that's not a shot that you don't get, that you don't feel multiple times through the course of a fight. It wasn't a monster shot, but don't get me wrong, it's a buzz, you feel me? But you get buzz, you get a little, hey, I'm here shot. You get a, I'm right here, boy, you know what I'm saying, shot. multiple times through a fight. And when Terence Crawford hit Kell Brook in the 4th round and he reacted that way, I was like, damn, okay, his first time that he gets a semi-strong shot, a buzz shot, he gets staggered like that. And again, I don't question the fighter because he goes through the training. He's been in there fighting all of his life, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that I'm in there doing. But I do know it's a shot that he's been hit with before. So what I'm saying is that I just knew his punch resistance is not there. You know what I'm saying? As long as Kell Brook still has the mind to fight, he still can kind of train somebody or kind of teach you because he knows how to move in the ring. I mean, you saw that in the first couple rounds. But to get hit with that shot in the 4th round and for him to have a reaction like that, his punch resistance is not where it needs to be in order to compete at a high level at this point in his career. I'll say that. So, hopefully, I wouldn't suggest that he fights anymore, especially at a high level. If he is going to fight, maybe fight like some of the second level fighters, you know what I'm saying? Because he still has the boxing skills to beat them. But yeah, his punch resistance isn't there, bro. He's just not ready for that. He's not on that level anymore, you know what I'm saying? And there's no slight, bro. He's been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? He had 2 orbital bones broke back to back, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine that, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully I think he got paid $2 million for this fight. He deserved it. Crawford got paid $4 million for this fight. He deserved it. And this fight didn't show me anything that I didn't know about Crawford. Crawford, he's one of the best fighters in the world. I've always said that. So it didn't show me nothing I didn't know, but it did show me that Kell Brook punch resistance isn't there anymore. So, up next, hopefully we get Crawford and Spence or Crawford and Pacquiao. I don't really want to see Crawford and Pacquiao because Crawford, he's too much of a dog for Pacquiao at this point in his career. So I would like to see Crawford versus Sean Porter first, then Crawford versus Spence as far as 2021 plans. That's what I would want to see. If my thoughts carry any weight, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have any big fights coming up until December 5th with Garcia versus Errol Spence. Danny Garcia versus Errol Spence. So it's going to be a couple weeks before we have something big. So we kind of got to wait that out. Also, speaking on outside of the ring news, Tyson Fury is in arbitration with Deontay Wilder right now, where they're seeing the arbitrator to try to see does Tyson Fury have to live up to the contract. And Tyson Fury's stance is that the contract is up as far as the rematch goes. Deontay Wilder says, nah, we had a contract for this 3rd fight, and due to the pandemic that we all agreed upon to postpone, my 3rd fight is still owed to me. So if the arbitrator rules in Deontay Wilder's favor, we'll see the 3rd fight in 2021. If he doesn't, we probably won't see it. But, so that's just a little update. I know I talked about the whole Deontay Wilder thing a couple episodes ago. You can check that out. I think it's episode 37 or 38 or something. So check that out. But just want to give you guys a quick update regarding that. Another thing outside of the ring, which is going to start happening, but it's going to lead to something inside the ring. Canelo finalized his finalized his plans for his fight. He's going to fight December 19th against Callum Smith. It's going to be on the Zone. So Canelo's basically doing his own promotional thing. He basically cut out the middleman and just went directly to the Zone for this fight. We'll see how that goes. I favor Canelo, so I think Canelo is one of the top pound for pound fighters, and that hasn't changed. And we'll see how it goes with Callum Smith. But Callum Smith he's a good fighter, so you can't take him lightly. But I don't think Canelo's going to take him lightly. I don't see that happening. So we'll look forward to that next month. Speaking of pound for pound, we're going to talk about our top 10 pound for pound fighters, and then we're going to wrap up this episode. So my top 10 pound for pound fighters was in that ESPN telecast, bro. They kept going on and on about how Terence Crawford is the number one fighter. And of course, before Terence Crawford, they kept saying how Lomachenko is the number one fighter. It's funny how all these ESPN fighters are always the number one fighters on their list, you know what I'm saying? It's never somebody else. It's never somebody outside of an ESPN fighter that's the number one fighter on their list. But I get it, you know, you got your agreements, so promote your fighters. However, here at You Can't Play Boxing, we got our own top 10 pound for pound, you know, fighters. And I'm going to give it to you like this, you feel me? At number 10, I'm going to say Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao at 40-something years old is still one of the best fighters in the world, especially at welterweight. Now, there's certain, you know, you don't want to match him up with a killer at this point, but a fighter, if it's like a skill for skill type thing, he still has more skills than a lot of fighters right now. However, I wouldn't put Manny Pacquiao in there with no Errol Spence or no Terence Crawford right now. I guess if you're going to choose, it'll be Terence Crawford since he's a smaller guy. But yeah, Manny Pacquiao, he's still a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's number 10 on my list right now. Number 9 is Dimitri Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Light heavyweight, very technically sound. I think he's under. I want to say that he's overlooked and underrated. You feel me? And I got Dimitri Bivol as one of the, you know, he's number 9 on my list. Number 8 is somebody I feel who they not sleeping on. And somebody showed me a lot in his last fight. That's Jamal Charlo. I'm talking about the 160-pounder Charlo who just fought Deverchenko. He showed me a lot in his fight he just had. You know what I'm saying? He was very patient. He was very focused. That was a top 10 pound for pound performance. And in the middleweight division, he can do some damage, you know what I'm saying? So number 8 is Jamal, the 160-pound Charlo, you feel me? The middleweight Charlo, that's my number 8, you feel me? Number 7 is another killer in the light heavyweight division. I'm talking about Better Biev or whatever. He's a killer. I don't think anybody at 175 beats him these days. Even Canelo, that would be a tough fight for Canelo. I'm not gonna ever say Canelo can't do it, but Artur Beterbiev, he's the truth. Eastern European, hella dope, hella strong. He's dope. Number 6, gonna give it to Alexander Usyk. Now, you might be like, damn, how you got him number 6, but then you got him like number 4, number 5 in the heavyweight rankings? Because he did a lot of this damage in cruiserweight, and for him to be able to go up to heavyweight and do what he's doing so far, gotta give him respect for it. So he my number 6. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Inoue. You know, Japanese. I think he's bantamweight, 118 or whatever, pounder. He's nice to watch. Competition hasn't really been there, but he definitely has skills. So I have him as number 5. Number 4, I got My guy who had his biggest win of the year, had the biggest win of the year to me when he beat Lomachenko. Give it to Teofimo Lopez. He's my number 4 pound-for-pound fighter. Lightweight king right now. You got Tank Davis and you got Devin Haney and you got Ryan Garcia on his heels. But Teofimo Lopez has done enough for sure to be top 5 pound for pound for sure. Number 3, we just saw him. ESPN has him ranked as number 1 pound for pound. Don't get me wrong, he's dope as fuck, but I don't have him ranked number 1. But you got Terence Crawford. I got him as number 3 pound for pound. And you know, Terence Crawford, bro, he I mean, what can you say, man? He's one of the best fighters in the world. And that's why I try to tell people, like, we try to, like, separate these fighters and try to say, oh, this dude can't beat this dude. Do you know how hard it is to be regarded as one of the best fighters in the world? Even at number 3. You know how many people are actually call themselves boxers? In the hundreds, maybe to the thousands. You know how many people have ever been a top 5 pound for pound fighter? Not too many. So it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. You feel me? So yeah, it's no disrespect to Terence Crawford. He might be able to beat Errol Spence. You feel me? But like I told somebody, him beating Errol Spence, it's not one of the things to me you say. It's one of the things you show. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of Errol Spence, he's my number 2 pound for pound. Errol Spence he got better wins to me. He got a win over a prime Kell Brook in England. Got a win over Sean Porter at 147. Errol Spence, as they say, bruh, he's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And my number 1 fighter, number 1 pound for pound fighter. We've been talking about him, just talked about him on this episode. It's Canelo Alvarez. His resume is impeccable. I mean, who do you know faced Triple G twice with no losses? And I know some people like, oh, he lost to Triple G. On my scorecard, I had the same way the judges had it. I had that first fight a draw, and I had that second fight, Canelo winning by 1 round. Now, if you think Triple G won the first fight by a round or 2, okay, knock yourself out. But whatever you think, Triple G was mowing down motherfuckers before he fought Canelo. He ain't mowed down Canelo the first fight. He ain't knocked him out. So it wasn't a blowout. And if you got Triple G winning, hey, you know, knock yourself out. I think it was a draw. And I think definitely the second fight, I think Canelo won. But if you had Triple G as a draw, whatever. I mean, we split in halves. But Canelo fought Triple G twice. No losses. No knockouts. Against a killer. You feel me? He was against a killer. He's knocking everybody out. He ain't knocked Canelo out. 24 rounds. Fought Floyd Mayweather, he lost. Learned from that. Fought Lara. Won that when Lara nobody wanted to fight him. Fought Kovalev at 175. You feel me? He fought motherfucking... Man, Canelo got so many fights, bruh. Danny Jacobs. Bro, he got so many. That's why his resume is impeccable. You can't. Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto. Like, who else has a resume like that? So, yeah, Canelo is the number 1 fighter. To me, it's hands down. And he always he's challenging himself for the most part all the time. So, shout out to Canelo. Number 1 on the You Can't Play Boxing podcast. Pound for pound fighter. And, what we're going to do real quick, we're going to wrap up this episode. Like I said before, early in the show, we don't have many fights coming up for like a couple weeks, but we're still going to deliver episodes, in between time. As I mentioned, check us out on YouTube at You Can't Play Boxing. Check us out on our website, can'tplayboxing.com. Check us out on Instagram, You Can't Play Boxing. That's UCANTPLAYBOXING. Check us out on what's the other? Twitter, You Can't Play Boxing. Man, there's so much shit. So until next time, y'all. Oh yeah, and check us out on all these podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Subscribe, rate, do all of that. Let me know how you feel about the podcast. Again, I appreciate everybody who's been listening. Listenership's been growing. And until next time, y'all, stay safe out there, like I said before, and be humble. Peace.